The Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs have formed an intense rivalry that has caught the eyes of football fans around the world. Whenever these two teams go head-to-head, it's a clash between two of the game's top quarterbacks and two of the best teams in what are almost always memorable games. Dating back to the 2020 season, the Bills and Chiefs have met 7 times. The Bills have won 3 of the 4 regular season games between the two teams, but it's the Chiefs who have gotten the last laugh as they've won all 3 of their playoff meetings, eliminating the Bills in 3 of the last 4 seasons. Now, we're in the midst of the 2024 campaign, and the Bills are off to an 8-2 start for the first time since 1993, while the Chiefs are 9-0, and they're hoping to defend their undefeated season behind enemy lines in Orchard Park. Welcome back to the Bills Bunker, everybody. I'm Jake Varco, and today we're going to talk a little bit of Buffalo Bills Kansas City Chiefs history leading into this week's game between the two teams. The Bills, the Chiefs, they're 2 of the top dogs in the NFL. Obviously, the Chiefs back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions, trying to go for that three-peat. The Bills, they're still looking for that first Super Bowl win in franchise history. But these two teams, every time that they meet up, it's a great game between the two teams. And I think we're in for another one of these great matchups this Sunday coming up. But let's take a look back at some of these matchups between the Bills and the Chiefs. Before we do that, I'd like to take a moment to encourage you to click that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content coming your way all season long. And I will be at the Bills-Chiefs game this Sunday. So stay tuned for that reaction video live from the stadium. When you think of the Bills-Chiefs rivalry, the first thing that probably comes to your mind is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. But this rivalry goes deeper, and it started long before either of these two players were even born. Their first playoff matchup came all the way back in the 1966 AFL Championship game when Kansas City defeated Buffalo to advance forward and represent the AFL in the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. After the AFL merger to the NFL, both of these teams would have significant struggles for decades, but they both elevated their game right around the same time in the 1990s. And in the years 1991 and 1993, the Chiefs defeated the Bills in the regular season. However, it was Buffalo who got the best of Kansas City in the playoffs, as the Bills represented the AFC in 4 straight Super Bowls, but lost all of those games. After some competitive playoff matchups in the 90s, the Bills endured a 17-year playoff drought up until the year 2017, while Kansas City remained relevant and competitive, but they weren't really a true threat to win a Super Bowl during this time. Fast forward to the year 2020, and the Bills and Chiefs would meet in the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead, where it was all Kansas City all night long. The Chiefs defeated the Bills by a score of 38-24, and they would advance to the Super Bowl for what was the second straight season, eventually losing to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. But losing Super Bowls isn't something that would become a common occurrence for Kansas City. After their 2020 AFC Championship game, the teams then met up again the following year in the divisional round in a game that is now referred to as 13 seconds. It was a game that had 3 lead changes in the final 2 minutes of regulation, and it looked like the Bills were about to go back to the AFC Championship after they took a lead with just 13 seconds left on the clock. But the Chiefs, they had other plans. Kansas City moved the ball downfield efficiently and effectively, and they kicked a game-tying field goal to go to overtime. And then in overtime, the Chiefs won the coin toss, and they marched down the field to score a touchdown and end Buffalo's season for the second straight season. Patrick Mahomes, touchdown, Travis Kelce. That's the game. That's the season for the Buffalo Bills. Just like that. They were 13 seconds away from moving on to the AFC Championship game and defeating the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the two teams didn't meet in the 2022 playoffs, but it wouldn't take long for them to cross paths again in the postseason. In 2023, the teams played yet another back-and-forth game, but this time, it was in Buffalo. The Chiefs ended up defeating the Bills again. Kansas City held a 27-24 lead late in the fourth quarter. Tyler Bass trotted on to to try to tie up the game. His game-tying field goal attempt sailed wide right, and it ended the Bills' season in front of Bills Mafia at Orchard Park.
I don't even know. Like, this play's still going on, but I'm just going to talk to you because what the hell?
This was just a heartbreaking loss for the Buffalo Bills, and it is yet another example of their playoff woes against the Kansas City Chiefs, really, ever since they met them back in 2020. As mentioned before, these teams have met in the regular season in each of the past 3 seasons, and Buffalo has won all of those games. The Bills just haven't been able to beat the Chiefs when it matters most in the playoffs. Now these teams will meet again, and it is yet another opportunity for fans to witness greatness with what has all the makings of a classic clash between 2 of the top dogs in the NFL. It is time for the Buffalo Bills to go head-to-head with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not a playoff game, and honestly, this game doesn't mean too much. Really, it's for team morale on both sides. The Chiefs, they have their undefeated streak, and the Bills, they're really playing for playoff seeding, but that's just about it. That's it. That's all this game is. It's a regular season matchup for morale and playoff seeding with an undefeated streak on the line. 2 of the top teams with those 2 dogs at quarterback, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I'm sure Taylor Swift will be there as well. Had to give the Taylor Swift mention, I guess. Anytime you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, it's going to be Bills, it's going to be Chiefs. Highmark Stadium, I can't wait for this game. It's another installment of what has become a classic rivalry. It's like this era's Brady and Manning, Mahomes and Allen. Chiefs, Bills. This Sunday at Orchard Park, at Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park. I'll be there. Stay tuned. Click subscribe if you haven't yet, and let me know, did you know all of this about this history? Because it's really interesting to look back at how it's actually kind of flipped. The rivalry was the Chiefs would win the regular season games, and then the Bills would win the playoff games in the 90s. But now it's actually flipped the other way around. The Bills hoping to flip that script back in their favor and win in the playoffs. Ideally win this game as well. But we'll talk soon. Click like. Click subscribe. Go Bills. I'm Jake Varco. See you soon.